What the hell happened to the Phoenix last night? To set the scene, it's Throwdown 29 against the arch rivals, the crosstown nemesis Melbourne United. Both sides coming off of, 25-point wins last weekend against undermanned teams, but full of confidence. Both sides' defenses are looking unbelievable. And the first 3 quarters were back and forth. They traded the lead a couple of times. The Phoenix took the lead in the 3rd quarter, and they go into the final break down 5 points. And that's where it all starts going pear-shaped. They started the 4th quarter giving up a 13-0 run with 6 straight missed field goals. For the quarter itself, they shot 5 of 21 from the field. And it wasn't like Melbourne were playing anything better than their usual very good defense, albeit. They weren't doing anything special, they weren't forcing a bunch of steals or anything like that. The Phoenix just couldn't get their offense going. Nathan Sobey, who'd had a really good game to that point, couldn't get his shot going. John Brown started to heat up a little bit in the 3rd quarter, but then those shots dried up. And they're struggling without an elite point guard to control and set the tempo of the offense. Owen Foxwell really struggled in this game. Tyson Walker was really shutting him down. And when Dash Daniels was on him, he couldn't even do anything, really. Now, I'm going to preface all of this by saying I'm not worried about the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. I think they're a good team, and I definitely expect them in the postseason. I just think that this game was a good loss for them to have early because it pointed out a few areas that they need to improve on, and specifically with them looking for an import to fill their final slot. The type of player that they should be looking for. The first clip I want to show is from 30 seconds within the final quarter. Now, the Phoenix had already used a timeout because of a lapse in concentration on their defense, but their offense was the main problem. So we look at the 5 that are on the floor right now for the Phoenix. Nathan Sobey with ball in hand, Daniel Foster, John Brown, Owen Foxwell, and Hunter Maldonado. So clearly the main offensive threat right now is Nathan Sobey. And just watch this possession. A few little screens, Sobey feeling like he has to get aggressive, resulting in an easy block and a big dunk for Milton Doyle. Now, one can argue that that was a quote-unquote Nathan Sobey moment, as Julian Marcus put it on the broadcast with me. At least we know that Nathan Sobey's head is still in the game on the defensive end.
What was that? I know this is the Nathan Sobey experience, but that set new standards.
But I feel like he feels like he is the one that has to do everything on the offense right now because there is no other player on the floor that can create their own shot or that can run the offense and make something happen. So he feels like he has to start taking over. A couple of minutes later, Geordie Hunt is on the floor for the Phoenix. And again, it's just stagnant offense. A little bit of player movement, one soft screen, and then a mid-range shot, which was falling in the 3rd quarter for Brown, but that's his 2nd or 3rd miss from the field in this 4th quarter. And they're still relying on it because there's not a whole lot else in terms of the offense for the Phoenix. The drought for the Phoenix stops a tick over 3 minutes into this 4th quarter with a pick and pop for Geordie Hunter, which was something that I was surprised they didn't go to more. It was something that I was calling for in the pre-show, to try and counter the drops coverage that Melbourne run with Jesse Edwards. But then that's picked up on by Melbourne the very next possession. Slightly different situation, but as soon as Geordie Hunter touches it, Fab Krizlovic getting right up in his space, just to make sure that he doesn't even consider taking that 3. Now's where the concern starts to kick in a little bit for the Phoenix. Foxwell playing off the ball, he will get it eventually. Look at the coverage that Melbourne are running right now. Jesse Edwards is basically in a full denial of Nathan Sobey, recognizing that he is the key to this offense and that Melbourne don't want Sobey to touch the ball. Foxwell gets the ball, one dribble, picks it up because he's a little bit concerned. A bit of on-ball coverage here results in Sobey getting it, launching up a bad 3, doesn't even touch the ring. The Phoenix call a timeout at the next stoppage, and this is what Dean Vickerman had to say specifically about his defensive coverage.
And some of the other guys
hey,
as well.
We're a little home base down here, Gak in the game. Your job right now is to be at the level that you can be at with not having Sobey beat you downhill. So if you're right here coming off stuff right now and you can retreat, great. Jack might pull a 3. We're going to live with that right now. All right, we're going to live with that one. Make sure we take care of Sobey and Glover right now. All right.
The play following the timeout, Nathan Sobey doesn't even bring the ball up. He goes straight to the corner. And Tyson Walker is essentially in a full denial, aware that a screen's going to come. And he's very aware about what's going to happen. Sobey doesn't even take the screen. Goes straight back to the corner. Walker, again, very aware of what's coming. And with the shot clock ticking down, DJ Mitchell has to take a really bad shot. Well, a forced shot. And then the next possession, the next whistle, Sobey ends up sitting down alongside Owen Foxwell because they're essentially a non-factor in what's going on the floor. The Phoenix end up only scoring 13 points in that final quarter, and 6 of those points coming in the last 3 minutes or so when it was garbage time. And again, I'm not poo-pooing the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. I like this team, I like their roster, and I think they're going to be really good. But I think their final import spot needs to be a scoring guard. Whether it's a point guard or a combo guard that can pair with Nathan Sobey or that can go alongside Owen Foxwell, I think either one would work. But they need someone who they can rely on to score points when it matters most. Look at what Milton Doyle's done for Melbourne United.
Doyle takes on the responsibility of his own at the other end.
And this is why he's big time. The guy has not shot it well.
But all the
at
shots
all.
he's made have been huge.
Yeah, but he comes in, he's not afraid of the moment. 5 of 18, he should have shot that like he was 14 of 18.
Look at what Bryce Cotton has done for the last decade in this league.
It's the moments when stars come to play. He's the biggest of them all. Step back, 4-3. Incredible! Bryce Cotton! He's paid $600,000 and he's worth every single cent!
And I'm not saying this person has to be on their level in terms of, an elite import who is going to be up there in MVP contention every single season. But it needs to be someone who can reliably hit shots and isn't afraid of the big moment or afraid to take the team on his back. The Phoenix right now are relying a lot on transition points and scoring quickly, getting the ball out of the ring or off of the rebound and pushing fast. That's how they're scoring a lot of their baskets. And that's going to work for a lot of games. But who do they rely on when the going gets tough? When it's late in the fourth quarter and you need 1 or 2 clutch baskets, who are they going to? There's only so much that this Phoenix roster can do right now. But get an elite scoring guard in there or get an elite point guard to put them in the best positions, then who knows what this Phoenix roster is capable of.